The rain fell in fine needles across the sidewalks of San Francisco. Elon Musk pulled up his hoodie, escaping the public eye as he often did, heading toward his favorite low-key cafe near 5th Street. He wasn't expecting to stop. He wasn't expecting to feel anything. But the text changed everything. "Elon, I think I just saw Sarah Miller near Pine and 5th. She looked rough." Sarah Miller, his former secretary. She had vanished nearly a decade ago. No explanation, no goodbye, just gone. Elon slowed, turned, and crossed the street. She was there, slumped against a damp brick wall, wrapped in a stained blanket, soaked to the bone. Her hair was stringy, her skin pale, but her eyes, those eyes, were unmistakable. "Sarah?" She looked up, startled. The shame in her face struck him harder than any insult ever had. "Elon, I didn't think you'd remember me." "Come with me," he said, pulling off his hoodie and wrapping it around her. "You don't belong here." She hesitated. Then she stood, shakily. In that moment, he wasn't a billionaire. She wasn't a ghost. They were just two people trying to make sense of a broken past. And behind them, a stranger snapped a photo. By the time they got into his car, it was already online. Billionaire CEO Elon Musk spotted rescuing homeless woman. They didn't speak for blocks, but the silence said everything. He remembered her loyalty, her calm under fire, how she once saved his schedule during a PR disaster, working through the night with no recognition. And now, she was sleeping on the street. This wasn't a chance encounter. It was a calling. Elon Musk couldn't shake the image of Sarah's face. That night, he sat in his living room, fireplace low, house silent, but his mind replayed that moment outside the cafe like a loop. The way she avoided his eyes, the way she kept apologizing without saying a word. He opened his phone and typed her name into the Tesla database. Nothing. No forwarding address. No emergency contacts. She had vanished the moment she left Tesla all those years ago. Elon scrolled through old emails. There, an internal message from 2015. Sarah M. leaving due to family emergency. He remembered now. Her mother had fallen ill. Sarah had asked for time off. HR had said the system was strict. She quietly left. No complaints, no drama, just silence. Now, almost a decade later, she was sleeping behind a coffee shop. The next morning, he returned to that alley. Sarah was gone. He asked the barista. "She comes around sometimes, doesn't stay long. Quiet woman, always polite." Elon handed the worker a note. "If she returns, give her this." The note read, "Sarah, it's Elon. You gave me your best years. Let me give you something back. I have a room ready. No expectations, just rest. Call me, please." That night, his phone lit up with an unknown number. He answered immediately. A long pause. Then a quiet voice. "Elon?" He stood up. "Sarah, I've been hoping you'd call." Her voice trembled. "I don't want charity." Elon replied without hesitation. "Then don't take it as charity. Take it as a long overdue thank you." Sarah stood at the doorway of the guest suite, motionless. It was beautiful. Far too beautiful. Clean white linens, a wall of books, a bay window with views of the hills. She stepped inside carefully, like she might break something just by being there. On the nightstand sat a small card, handwritten. "You once gave me peace when I had none. I want this room to return the favor. Elon." She closed her eyes. Her throat tightened. It wasn't just the kindness that overwhelmed her. It was the memory of who she used to be. Back then, she was sharp, driven. She used to handle Elon's calendar with precision, spot investor errors before the meetings even started. And now, she couldn't even look herself in the mirror. Later that night, Elon gently knocked and stepped in, holding 2 cups of tea. I figured you'd still be awake." She smiled, but barely. "Still don't sleep much." He sat across from her, not saying anything at first. Finally, she broke the silence. "You shouldn't have brought me here. You have an image to protect." Elon tilted his head. "So do you." Sarah looked at him, startled. "You think this is who you are now? Someone who deserves to be forgotten?" A tear slipped down her cheek. "I don't know who I am anymore." Elon placed the tea down and leaned forward. "You're someone who showed up for me when I was nobody. I don't forget people like that. And I won't let the world forget you either." A few days later, Elon sat alone in his home office. He couldn't sleep, not because of work, because of a question that kept spinning in his head. What did we miss about Sarah? He opened his old inbox and searched her name. Hundreds of archived emails popped up, organized, precise, color-coded threads. Budget warnings before anyone noticed. Investor meeting prep notes that saved entire product launches. Then, he clicked on one email labeled "For internal use only." It was a PDF, a 20-page internal proposal from 2014. Title: Reducing Operational Waste Across Tesla, 3-Year Plan. Author: Sarah M. He read it twice. She had designed an entire optimization roadmap. One of the ideas, restructuring delivery logistics, had later been implemented by another team. That change had saved Tesla $18 million, and no one had ever credited her. Elon leaned back, stunned. She hadn't just been his secretary. She was a mind in the shadows, a strategist lost in the noise. The next morning, he walked into the kitchen. Sarah sat with a notebook, sketching numbers and checklists, just like she used to. He placed the printed PDF in front of her. She froze. "You still had this?" "I had it. I just didn't know what I was looking at." Sarah looked down, unsure how to react. "You saved us, and no one even thanked you." She swallowed hard. "You don't have to say it now." Elon shook his head. "I'm not thanking you. I'm fixing what never should have been broken." 2 weeks later, Elon walked into Tesla HQ with Sarah beside him. The whispers started instantly. "Is that? Wasn't she?" He ignored them all. They took the elevator to the 5th floor, executive wing, but instead of turning toward the corner office, Elon led Sarah to a quiet space near the innovation team. It was a simple room, one desk, a whiteboard, 2 chairs. On the wall, a new plaque, the Second Chance Desk, where ideas and people get a fresh start. Sarah stepped inside slowly. "Is this mine?" Elon nodded. "You're not just back. You're building something." She blinked back tears. "I'm not sure they'll listen." "They will, because I will." A few minutes later, a young intern walked in. Nervous, clutching a folder, Sarah looked at Elon. "She's the one who flagged the battery inventory error last quarter." Elon nodded. "And no one took her seriously. Your job is to make sure that never happens again." Sarah reached out, smiled, and shook the girl's hand. "Welcome to the desk." That afternoon, Sarah drafted her first memo in years. Title: Leveraging Overlooked Talent to Maximize Innovation. The idea? Create a pipeline for under-recognized minds, past interns, overlooked support staff, even those outside the system. Elon reviewed the draft that evening. He looked up at Sarah. "This isn't a return." She raised an eyebrow. "No?" He smiled. "This is a revolution." A year later, Sarah stood on stage at Tesla's annual summit. She wore a simple navy blazer, her notes trembling slightly in her hands. But her voice, steady, clear. Behind her, The screen displayed the title of her program, The Second Chance Initiative, 4,000 hires, 89 cities, countless lives changed. She paused. I was once a secretary who went silent. Then I became a name on a forgotten file. Now, I'm here because someone remembered. The crowd held its breath. She glanced at Elon, seated in the front row. He didn't save me because I was perfect. He helped me because he remembered I mattered. Applause echoed across the auditorium. But Elon's face stayed still, focused. Because for him, this was never about attention. It was about restoration. Later that evening, the two stood by the glass balcony, city lights below them. "You were incredible," he said. "I still feel like that girl behind the desk." He smiled. "Good. That girl built empires." She laughed, then turned serious. "Why did you really do it, Elon? Bring me back?" He looked at the skyline, quiet for a moment. "Because everyone sees genius in winners. I wanted to prove there's genius in survivors too." Sarah nodded slowly. "And what do we do now?" He raised his glass slightly. "We make sure no one's brilliance ever gets lost again." Down below, a new center was being constructed. The Sarah M. Innovation Hub, a place for second chances. A place where being unseen no longer meant being unworthy. And for the first time in years, Sarah breathed without weight. This wasn't just a comeback. This was a legacy.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more inspiring stories.